What's up, y'all? Gabrielle here. So I pulled out my Spellcaster's Tarot. I'll be doing some meditating and whatnot, and keep coming up with these blockages with, and so, and my need to understand what the blockages are for myself and for the collective, and helping to put out any messages that could potentially help, and someone, anyone, all, none, whatever. That's what I'm guided to do, simply. And this isn't a traditional spread by any means. I kept asking, reveal what the blockages are, reveal what the blockages are, reveal what the blockages are. That's the whole purpose to what I'm doing right now. And all of these cards fell out. They flipped. And that was my prerequisite, because I wanted as thorough of inquiry as I could, is much information about these blockages that I could muster from the cards if they were willing to share. They're not always so willing to share. Let me just say that. I've been told no many a night. They're like, nah, we ain't talking. But anyway, we have a Temperance card. We have the Eight of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Two of Wands, the Devil, the Eight of Swords, the World, the King of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, the Chariot card, the Strength card, the Four of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, the King of Cups, Queen of... the High Priestess, Four of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, the Fool, Six of Pence, Five of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, that was funny. Turned it the wrong way. Sorry, let me settle this right here. Whatever. I might move this again. I just wanted to give you all an overview of what was down here. So now I'm going to take a seat. And I'm going to attempt to do this. And so, when I was looking at things and pondering things, it's like, the Temperance card is about balance. It's about patience. Yeah. And because this is Eros in this card, or maybe even Hermes, even though you want swiftness is not always the proper response. So I'm going to say there's a definite block in communication, but it's more so the timing of the communication. It's like patience. And this is why you have to do other things. You can't spend all your time thinking about any one situation. That's life in general. I don't care if someone's ill. I don't care if your relationship's in the balance. You have to find practical ways of balancing your energies. Because if you don't, when you finally do get what you want, meaning communication or a visit, whatever it is that you're after, you'll be so frustrated by the time in between the thinking process or whatever's been going on that you won't even be open to it. So yeah, there's definitely a need, I'm going to say, of release, meaning a physical release. I'm not talking necessarily sex, but I guess that could be it too. I think someone needs to go for a run or a jog to help restore emotional balance. It's kind of like dopamine or serotonin or whatever brain chemicals are released when you exercise. Endorphins. There you go. You need to work out or something to release the endorphins. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing going for a run. So some of it's just too much mental energy spent pondering the situation, and you just gotta get out your own head, because you literally could be creating your own blocks in this situation by jamming the energies around it. Yeah, could literally be jamming yourself up with the energies by going back and forth, hemming and hawing about everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need to focus on work. Eight of Pentacles. And also, this whole reading is about revealing blocks. So again, I'm going to look at this as work is a blockage. You know, too much focus on work maybe. Not creating time to move towards what you want. You know, work's important. We all got to save for a rainy day. That's a message too. Save for a rainy day. That's so funny. I've looked at this card a dozen times or more, and I've seen the rain, but I've never had that correlation until now. Yeah, save for a rainy day. And that's important. But even that has to be balanced. Even that thought process has to be balanced. Because hyperfocus creates blockages in other areas of your life. You know, too much focus on one thing forces neglect in other areas. But definitely saving for a rainy day is important. But, you know, another potential blockage is too guarded. I always see this little box as like the most precious thing you own, you have. And even though it's a box, it's like a metaphor. You know, your heart, your compassion, those are some of the most, precious things that we have, that we possess. The capacity to care and to love. And so I feel like that's another block. There's just too much guardedness about it. Too much guardedness about their emotions. It's hard to get close to someone who has so many swords around them. Even though these swords are down, you can still see them. You know what I mean? You can see all the battles won to attain these swords. You know, you only have two hands. So at least you were fighting either unfairly with two swords against one, or you were fighting against two opponents simultaneously, or there are at least 6 battles that you fought and won to get to this place. You know, and then we have like, there's a need for higher consciousness. Yeah. It's so funny because I'm looking at this wand in his hand here, this staff that he's using to steer the boat through the water away from whatever's over there behind them. And it's like this staff is like trying to knock some sense into him. Like he's trying to knock some sense into himself, you know. So there's personal blockages, but it's like they're aware of this battle, or these battles, and how they've affected them. Or better yet, they are coming into awareness of how these previous battles have affected them. Like, sense has been knocked into them, you know. But some of this is like beating yourself up too. Can't continue to do that. You have to definitely forgive yourself. You know, the gentleman in this card is long gray hair, you know, so he's gained lots of wisdom, but some of this is stress. You know, he's in pretty good shape, so under all of that, it's probably, he's a mature man, but he's not necessarily old, but he's grown a lot in wisdom and in experience. And he's literally learned to only take what's needed. And it's like, you see all these frayed pieces of cloth. Those are like sensories, you know, like the way you have body hair, like when the wind blows, you feel it against it, and it's like that. This alertness, this heightened sense of awareness. That's how I see those. Like, again, sense being knocked into oneself. Like, oh, I'm causing some of this. The eureka moment. Mm-hmm. And me to take a stance, pick a direction with confidence. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And move in the direction of what it is you truly want. You know, it's about focus. You know, in order to steer a boat, you do have to be paying attention pretty much at all times. You're like, oh, you're at sea. But you'd be surprised. There's reefs, there's like little caves, there's sand barges, not to mention predatory animals who could eat things bigger than the size of the boat you're on. You know, you can't just be unaware on the water. You know, and we have this Two of Wands about balance and actions. You know, it's yin and yang. It's finding that harmony in your path that you've chosen. How his foot is tied to this stake, to this wand, and then it's like this left hand is tied to this wand, and so it's like that's a heart-centered choice to take action. Left arm's representative of the heart, of the side of the heart meridian runs down, and where that's the reason why we use the left hand, supposedly, for marital rings and things like that. The ring finger there is supposed to tie that directly to the heart meridian. It does. Eastern medicine. But yeah. And this, but it's like finding this harmony, it's got them at a standstill. You see how he's sitting? Even though this is an action card, Two of Wands, you know, he's talking to this little bird. He's listening to the little bird like, okay, because he needs to get moving. But, total control, can free himself. It's almost like that Eight of Swords, they're restricting themselves from taking action. That's another blockage. That's a self-imposed restriction. Because, the rope, he has control of it. It's not like both his hands or feet are tied up where he would need someone to assist him in taking action. This is really almost like the hangman. His little birds, like your intuition or your spirit guide, something like that. Something outside yourself that you're seeking for information before you make a move. Or this person makes a move. That's another blockage. Another blockage is a karmic partner that just won't let the fuck go. Some of it's lifestyle choices. It's I'm looking at the serpents coming off the bottom here, and it's like snappy personality, sharp tongue, fast talking like a snake oil salesman. Like this is energy. This is like behavioral patterns. Like, I don't sense genuine evil coming off of this. But it's like, whatever that was, even though it might have been enjoyable at one time, Interesting. There's morning glories in here. Like, I've never noticed that the woman, a creature. Sorry, the light's not on. That better. See. The morning glories. So this person that they're with, or they go back to, is really a good time person. Morning glories only come out when it's daytime. They retract at night. So, this person that's in the way is only around for the good times. They're not actually there for hardships and things like that. It's a party buddy. Never makes them feel low, doesn't challenge them, doesn't make them think about their behavior or any of that. This is just fun. Gluttony, sex, good times. And this hangs over their head. Like this ball and chain. This thing. This past person that's so intoxicating, so alluring, that's just there for that level on. Wait, my French is so terrible. But it's like what they say in New Orleans, like, let the good times roll. They're that person. They get turned up together. I'm looking at this thermostat, this little thermometer looking thing. They bring that heat. But it's no good. It's no good. And even though it is a type of soulmate, it's a toxic soulmate. Let me see what he has in his hand. Looks like a gold coin. He said to pay the fare. Ride the river Styx. Because this is a surefire path to certain death. It's a downward spiral. See? Spiral, coin. This person's really no good. They're only there for the good times. That's another blockage. That's a big blockage, though. And then we have the Eight of Swords. We have massive self-imposed limitations. Like, again, that's what I keep saying. Like, they're their own blockage. They can't get the fuck out their own way. But it's a choice. So please do not feel pity. That's why you gotta go do you and not focus on any of this shit. I will mention that the King of Cups is here, right? And then on the bottom of the decks is the Queen of Cups. And then right under that is the Six of Cups. That's so funny. Yeah. Blockages in twin flame soulmate union. Interesting. Yeah. And they being so stubborn about all this. That fucking bull back there, he's just sitting there chilling, keeping warm next to the fire, chilling, in no immediate danger whatsoever. Trust me, if there were danger, real danger, that bull be out. He chilling. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's snow on the ground. Yeah. And that fire's just keeping it warm. Like they got a wall of rocks over there behind them, a mountain, so it's gonna reflect the heat back. He chilling, cold chilling. Dang. Trying to make it seem like he's stuck. Trying to make it seem like he trapped. Motherfucker ain't none of that. None of that. That's terrible. That's what I'm saying. Don't pity this person. Do you. I mean, if you want to be open to it, you know, but please go do you. Don't sit around. Even like I said, even though they know everything that they need to do, they're not doing a motherfucking thing about it. They know things have come to completion. Got this world card, or they know they're risking an end. But they also know it's a new year. I'm looking back at the Six of Swords and this sun sign here, and then the world card with the, it's a cycle completion, like literally the traditional calendar, the Julian calendar, whatever you want to call it. We have just come through a new year. We have literally had a full solar return for how we keep practical time, linear time. How about that? And so it's like, it's so funny that I put this quartz on this King of Swords here, right? Cause like this motherfucker, I don't like him. I don't like him right now. I really don't. But maybe it's this guy here. Like I said, he's been through a lot of battles. Same gray beard. Looks like he got a haircut. But look at him. He in his power position. That's the sword of truth. That's clarity. And what do we got? We got the wolf. So we have the spirit guide, right there with him. Eyes open, at the ready, ears up, they alert. Yeah, this is the same person. Absolutely. This is a match energy. Maybe wherever they were coming from, it was a little too warm. A little too hot. See? Toxic situation. And they're looking for something cooler, but something very loving. Snowflakes to me is like universal love. Maybe it's also self-love, you know. That's also what they're doing. Taking care of themselves, which everyone should do. So I keep telling you, divine feminines, you know, focus on you. The more you focus on you, the better it'll be. Stop watching their social media. You know, stop texting, stop emailing. You know, it's hard to not think about people, but you need to try to do that too. Okay? Okay. But just know when they pop in your mind, they thinking about you. So you can smile at that and carry on with your day. I mean, pop. Yeah. But they still, I get the feeling that they think this is a game. This Four of Pentacles feels very childish to me. The way he's like crouched on all four of these rocks with these pentacles carved into him as he's like hovering over his little stash there with the squirrel. Like his little animal friends taught him how to, you know, squirrel money away here and there, and you know. So maybe that's another thing that's going on right now too. They're having to save. I did see rainy day fun up there. I definitely saw that. Like there was a need for that, but also a need to balance that thought process, that action. Yeah, because this is a very rudimentary foundation. This is the Four of Pentacles. I mean, he's got sticks here, but it's like the concept, the idea, you know, it's so funny. This is pentacles, but you know, it's sticks, so it makes me think of wands. So it's like, and again, we have the Four of Wands down here. So they know that this is what's needed in order to get to that place of stability. That's 444. I'm looking at it. That's an angel message. Everything's as it should be. 888. That's another one out here. 8, 8, 8. Sorry, just looking real quick. See if there are any other numbers of value. Yeah. Yeah, but they know this holding back in some way is going to bring about the desired action, if that makes sense. And then next is the Chariot card. I mean, communication is coming, action is coming, or travel, because this Chariot's, you know, over the earth. But this is also spiritual communication coming in. Yeah. And now, you know, the Strength card is next. And so we have, like, she's riding this lion. He's got a lei on her, around his neck. She's got a lei on her head. So I see this, the Strength card is like the cusp of Leo and Virgo. Just telling you what I see. I know people be like, oh, Leo, the maiden's on his back. Okay? It's a cusp card for me. But it's like she's conjuring the power to cast out all this reptilian energy, this cold, amphibious nature, and to send it away. It's like all these things are being drawn to this, what looks like a glowing Venus flytrap. like the one from Little Shop of Horrors, like a massive one, and all these things are going to it. They don't get burnt up. It's gotta go. Yeah. And it's so interesting, the lion is right next to this cactus. And y'all all remember the story of the, oh gosh, what's the name of it? But it's the one with the lion with the thorn in his paw. And he needed the assistance of the mouse. But I think he ended up eating the mouse because he was like, I'm a lion. You know, it is what it is, people. A predator is a predator is a predator. And so, only a predator can tame a predator. Sorry, that's just how that works. It's the reason why they call humans apex predator. Our capacity to think, collaborate, construct devices, whatever. Can't outthink a person. Now, animals have instincts, and sometimes they do get the better of us. But overall, humans, 1, animals, 0. Now we're trying to remember what it's like to coexist. Coexist, find harmony. Yeah. But yeah. Blocks. A block is a lack of action, you know, even though it's not in the reverse. But we are looking at what blockages exist in this reading, in this connection. So there's holding back in a very real way. Like no communication, no calls, text messages ain't being read. But look, women, divine feminines, you need to do what they do. Don't reach the fuck out. There's a reason for the radio silence. Don't get mad. Just go do you, boo. Take care of you. But yeah. But I still get the sense that they believe that all this holding back is gonna get them what they want. And we got this this 4 of Swords. So I feel like there's a need for healing, a need for withdrawal, a need to reflect, a need to consult your ancestors, your spirit guides. There's a need for rest. Because that's a blockage, you know. I don't think the fact that somebody's meditating is a blocker. I think that someone hasn't taken the time to meditate, to heal. Or maybe that they're in healing and that's another reason why they're not coming to you. And you need to know that they are healing and they've started that process. You know, different messages. Yeah, because they're still very defensive. They're still very, very defensive. And you don't need to be around that energy. You know, because we're sensitive. Then we have this Ace of Pentacles. So a block is that there is an offer, but they're keeping it to themselves. It's hidden. And I mean, it's a big fucking offer. At least by the scale, the squirrel to the pentacle. You know, so it's a big offer to them. But they've been sitting on it so long that, you know, vines is growing around it. It's going to be hard to get it out. So that's another block. And we've got this King of Cups here. Okay. So they've put on such a front and such a facade that they all big and bad and strong. And I'm also like, because he's holding the trident, also that they deep, you know, like Maybe they're a little bit more superficial than they've been putting on. But you know, they fucking crab. You know, there's some very I remember finding Nemo, the seagulls and the crabs. Seagulls was like, mine, mine. And the crabs were like, hey, 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 hey. They kept sidestepping and moving and sidestepping and moving. It's like that. They keep sidestepping and moving. They're not actually dealing with their emotions. Sidestepping and moving, sidestepping and moving. I'm looking at this starfish, right? And this King of Cups. And it's like, you know, if a starfish loses an arm, they just grow another one. They cut it or you just drop it off. Like, fuck it. It's not worth the loss of life. Same thing with crabs, crustaceans. A lot of sea creatures have this super regenerative power. I can't tell you how many fish I've seen still floating and swimming around living their best life with a big ass chunk missing out of them. It didn't kill them. It's like that. But that sort of survival tactic has prevented them from experiencing a very deep connection with people. I'm not saying they haven't tried, but it's like getting gun shy with each experience of having to drop off a limb and regrow a new one. And, you know, it's like you just keep moving. Hey, hey, like the little crab from Nemo. Hey, hey, just keep moving. Dory, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Fifi, stop scratching. Yeah, but that sort of evasive sort of concept, you know, behavioral pattern and this false armor, this tough exterior they've put on. Meanwhile, that particular action of the tough exterior is holding back so much passion, so much love. It's so funny, right? I never noticed how just the edge of his chair there looks like a heart. It's revealing just enough of his heart, like he's hiding his heart with this armament, and it's preventing connection. See how the two dolphins are not connected? They're heading towards each other, but they're not fully connected yet. But that sort of pattern of severing ties, cutting off limbs to save yourself, the emotional experience has really, really done a number. And this person's got such a big heart. And you can totally sense it. But boy, that armor is such a block. And then we've got this high priestess sitting over here. You know, there could be a block in the intuition of this person. It could be. It very well could be. Ooh. But that's not what I'm getting. Not really. It's a message for someone. But what I'm getting, honestly, that there might have been some deception involving a child. Or they haven't quite revealed some information about a child. And, you know, and I kind of get it's a child from a previous relationship. right? Of course. But, yeah. But they're about to tell you, but that is a block. That needs to be balanced. Or maybe even, there's something dealing with a child. It's a major part of the equation. I'm looking at the two pyramids in the card. In the book. Can you see it? And how they're opposed. But when they come together, they form a perfect square. So there's a child that's playing a major role in this equation. It's like the Dorian virtue. Children are affecting your relationship. Yeah. Yeah. This is a seasoned pair. I'm looking at the Four of Wands here, and I'm looking at the fall, the autumn colored leaves that are on these wands. And it's like, that's the third season, fall, right? No, I guess spring is the beginning. Although we celebrate New Year's, but the world over, the spring starts the new year. Yeah, it's the third season. Spring, summer, fall. So this is a seasoned pair. They're not new to the game. And they recognize that in one another. Or maybe that's the block, recognizing that in one another. But the higher selves are connecting. Or they're about to. Because again, this is about blockages. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, right? And so being single is a motherfucking block. How about that? Clinging to your fucking singlehood is a block. Period. And being shady about that shit. I'm looking at the squirrel with the little hood on him. Like, don't be shady about that shit. That's a block. And then we got the Fool card. Scared to take a leap of faith. Block. Six of Pentacles. Not an equal give and take, a lack of reciprocity. A definite need for balance. Five of Swords. The end of fuckery. Mind games. Fuck-tartness. Like, put down the swords. Why the mind games? Why the bullshit? The deception, the lies. But in this card, three swords are down. It's only one person in the card, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 wolves. And they are moving away from this behavior, this activity, this mental crap, this wordplay, mind games, like I said. But that's a block. The need to move away from it. To temper. Another block. Knight of Pentacles. Moving too fucking slow. That's a lot of blocks. I'm gonna call this the block list. I love y'all. I gotta go. Bye.